Put your glasses on before you strike that arc. Shut the apron tight and clear that floor for sparks. Grind stings lungs like sand in the back of your throat. One glove can snag a blade, so keep both hands close. If it kicks, step back. If it binds, let it stop. Check the clamp again and keep your knuckles off the top. Time to do some sketchy shit. Not today, not with this bit. Got on, pipe down, keep it fit. Time to do some sketchy shit. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Fence stays locked in place when you feed that board. Push with a scrap block. Let the blade eat wood, not more. Long sleeves rolled up clean. No loose strings near the drill. Catch the grain the right way, or it'll twist with will. If it splinters, slow. If it chatters, kill the feed. Stand to the side for the kickback you don't need. Time to do some sketchy shit. Not today, not with this bit. Got on, lie down, keep it fit. Time to do some sketchy shit. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Face shield down low when the wheel stops to bite. No phone in your hand, no rush in your side. One bad second can take more than skin. So look twice, breathe slow, then go back in. Time to do some sketchy shit. Not today, not with this bit. Got on, back down, keep it fit. Time to do some sketchy shit. Gloves off when they trap. Tie it up, then take it slow. Time to do some sketchy shit and make it home to go again. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it
Welcome in, everybody. I probably should print the show. Yes, we have. The latest ones have been keychains. Anything else show right? Yet. We got a few in the works. We do have a 4th of July flag. We'll be adding a few other flags that have been requested very soon. Obviously, some can covers and bees. We're working on a couple larger files, so we will get up those soon. The makerspace is been on cleaning mode this week and moving equipment again. I was planning on streaming out there, but at 97 degrees outside, I decided to sit in here with the close to air conditioning for the metalworking bay. That's where I've been working lately. I don't have much as far as planned on in here. I should have planned a project just in case. I need to start doing that for stuff. I was somewhat planning on grinding and cleaning metal for some of our projects outside. Hopefully a couple people will join. We can chat, talk trash, see what's going on in the 3D printing world. Apparently the stream is not working in YouTube, or it doesn't appear to be. So I'm not sure if I'm streaming on YouTube or not. Welcome in, Retro. Thank you for joining. I should be outside, but 97 degrees. Nah. I checked it and quit. I should be doing a lot better visually on this stream because I streamed the other day on YouTube through another guy, and it did seem to help on my VPN. It seems like Verizon was throttling my streaming. It is going to get a lot hotter this week. I'm going to try to do a stream out there sometime during the week, but it might be like an early morning stream just to do something in the shop because it is way too hot for sitting out there all day long. We're going to be doing a lot of work inside this week to avoid that. It's probably gonna be one of the hotter weeks of the year. I do have to work some outside anyway, but I don't want to sit there and be dying of sweat on here because I can't run a fan without fan noise. And maybe I should get used to that and just work on that too, I guess. We may try stream out there and see how it does. Because worst case is I get just a bunch too much fan noise. Welcome in, Valerie. Glad you've joined us over here from, I believe you came from Sharky Face, but thank you for joining us. Today I'm inside. I should go outside and stream while grinding, but again, that seemed like a miserable job today. But that would be the next projects I have. Still trying to pick out a paint scheme for the shop or colors to restore the equipment. So right now it's basically cleanup. Probably gonna have to powder coat a bunch of stuff in red. It's 97 on the temperature gauge when I looked at it a little while ago outside in the garage. So warm enough I had to have a fan on. But not the end of the world where I couldn't be out there. I just was worried about fan noise. You joining at all today, Sandy, or nope? All right. Sandy is being antisocial today. So Sandy's sitting here pretending to ignore me. Yeah. But yeah, she will be. Yes, not joining me tonight. Uh,
So we got replacements.
Replacements. I do not yet. Not yet, at least. So no replacements as of yet. Anybody would like to join? I have pinned the Restream setup up here. I'd love to have some other streamers join. I have to at least know the name before I'm going to let you in, but that's the only requirement. And you do not have to be on camera. You can join with just voice. Again, as long as we know the name and enough chats to where we can be reasonably assured that you're not going to blow up the or cause Twitch TOS issues on there. But essentially, we want to know the name well enough for reasonably assured you're a decent person. And me saying no does not necessarily mean that. It just means that I don't know the name well enough to.
You trying to give out good advice
I
to yourself?
to myself, yes. To others, we avoid that. I don't think I want to be known as a good advice channel.
God forbid, huh?
Prince poorly. I knew a guy a couple that went by the poorly thing. Welcome in, Polymorph. We are. Yeah, I guess it won't be long before we are all 3D printing outlaws. I don't think they're going to totally ban 3D printers, but I do see where the problem's going to come in, and I also see where I will be taking mine offline so that they don't go through the checks, not because I'm doing anything illegal, just because, yeah. I'm not sure we want to be on the data running our stuff through the databases as of right now. What do you think, Sandy?
Aren't you already running through databases?
We are, but they're making it law. You haven't been watching the law. They're going to ban 3D printers that don't check for guns or firearms before they print. Huh? Yeah. Um, yeah, it's already passing in some states. So, yeah, it is to be expected. I mean,
You think they'll lock down 3D printing more than pretty heavily, or
yes, actually, I do.
so only certain people can do it?
It's going to get harder and harder to get involved. Yes.
So you think it's gonna be hard to buy one for your home,
Yes.
basically, eventually?
I think it's gonna be hard to operate one in your home. Now there'll be always ways around it. Like we'll take all of ours offline. Just
Successful, possibly.
it does. Um, I think I don't know what the ideally yes, polymorph. I don't know. All right, have a good night, Valerie. In fact, we could discuss it on the channel here if you want it, even if you want to join. I do agree it violates the Fourth Amendment, but I don't necessarily think that the Supreme Court cares about the Constitution. I think they care about the outcome being what they want it to be. And I don't think it's just this Supreme Court. I actually think more often than not, the Supreme Court is not a reliable source for that. Now, that being said, I do expect that this Supreme Court will strike this one down because it does. I doubt it will benefit them. I also believe that we will have a. This is not about firearms. I do agree with the people that are causing, in my opinion, feeding a lot of this. That this is actually about copyright. So, or as much as that in firearms. So I do see both sides of the argument, but I kind of expect to see the printer companies kind of cave before that happens.
Right.
So,
Already caved?
not to my knowledge. That's basically what I'm saying. I think the Supreme Court can be bought. I know it's not a opinion people want to hear, but um, you can watch them make judgments based upon how they want the outcome of the case, and it's way too often to be a coincidence. The Supreme Court's for sale. It is what it is. So we can't really say, hey, the Supreme Court's going to do this because it's right. It's if enough corporations kind of do it, then they may sway that judgment. Uh, yeah. I think that was kind of what rubbed everybody's nose in it. And it wasn't even necessarily that Roe v. Wade got overturned. It was the fact that so many people said, "Oh, it's decided precedents" when they were being confirmed, and as soon as they got an opportunity, they overturned it. If you agree with it or not, that doesn't really bode well for them being honest. Um, I can respect somebody who doesn't agree with Roe v. Wade. May not necessarily agree with them because I don't like the government making decisions at that level for healthcare people. But I don't, because I don't trust a lawyer to write a good law for that. And I think it'd be a problem for multiple reasons.
Trying
But
to
I
be
don't
a
think
better
that,
person, but I still got a few evil tasks I gotta do.
that's, I probably do need to be a better person. But yeah, I mean, I can respect any opinion. It's just, I think that they should be sticking to their opinions if they're a judge. Welcome in, Fuji. Again, anybody that wants to join in, join in. There is nothing necessarily. I'm not good at staying as far as away from touchy subjects, so that is perfectly fine. I do. My opinion is worth less than what you pay for it, which shouldn't be paying anything. But you know, my opinion is my own, and it's typically bad. As Sandy points out, right? I on
Silence golden today.
yes. I mean, yeah, but I just don't trust anything anymore. I do think that companies are going to give, but I don't.
I mean, they're pretty much set up to a lot of them to already give in a sense, aren't they? Like
Yes.
they're already tracked.
Yeah.
Some
Um,
are most of them tracking.
more are getting there because ever since Bamboo started sending it through the cloud, so does Snapmaker, and so do a few others. When they start looking at it that standpoint and the amount of data that these programs are sending out now, I mean, the legislation on banning 3D printers unless it runs through a database to see if it's a firearm. Uh, the I don't think it's odd. I think it was you got a perfect storm of what happened in New York and a bunch of streamers pushing it. So it's easy to convince people that that's all 3D printers are for. I mean, it seems to be that was about half of the things we would hear at shows lately was, can you do this or can you make parts for this?
It's one of the major comments that people make coming in and talking about it. They're like, "Oh, you can make no."
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
they want to talk about it.
um, nowadays, yeah. I that's partly where I don't think it'll go through national right now. But I'm not so sure that both parties aren't going to want to lock in guns before too long. I mean, they're both showing signs of it. Huh? Yeah, there are pew pews. So, I mean, it really could go either way. Um, I think that what it will do is get people to pull out of California, and that could be an issue for like West 3D and a few others, to where they don't want to be in, distributing through California. But I don't see a. I'm not hoping for problems for West 3D because I think they're in California if I remember correctly. California, Oregon, I believe is the ones that are talking about it. I don't. I personally think hope that the Supreme Court strikes it down if it does go through because of the illegal search and or search. But I'm not going to guarantee that. And we don't print anything with related to that, but for other reasons. And I'm very vocal about the fact that I don't think anything explosive. I know it's kind of odd for people to think of me because of Shenanigans channel. Explosions and thermoplastics don't mix. I don't think that it does polymorph. I mean, we can only see one instance, and yeah, a 3D printed pew is not going to be reliable. That's my problem with it. More than anything. Um, I don't think thermoplastics and explosions mix. So yeah, it's kind of like the magazine bans. It's not going to really make any difference, other than it'll make a pain in the ass for us. Is realistically what it does. In fact, the magazines didn't make any difference in crime because if you put a huge magazine on a pistol, it wasn't. You couldn't wield the dang thing anyway. I mean, there's physical limitations, people. Some of the stuff was absolutely stupid to make in the first place. You're welcome to have it, but it isn't practical. Um, and you're right. Most people are not going to be, but those same people wouldn't be skilled enough to do it in the first place, Bougie. I mean, let's be real. These aren't files on every, they're easy to come by. Right. I mean, don't give them any ideas on the capacity being zero. Somebody will try that. But, I mean, uh, these, some of the laws are just absolutely pointless. It's not stuff that's happening. It's kind of like there's some state that has a law against kissing fish. Is that, or what? No, it was actually French kissing fish. Is that a problem anywhere? I mean, some of these laws you have to question how could that have even happened in the first place? Why would you need a law against it? So this is going to be uh, one of those where it's a pointless law, and hopefully it gets struck down. I need to open up Twitch so I can actually see some of the stuff. I like, yeah, you just throw the popcorn in there. You waiting for the show. But yeah, I don't. I see some people I think are stirring it and enjoying the stirring of the pot and making it worse, acting like they're defending the Second Amendment because they make all things like it's actually realistic what they're trying to ban. Others are trying to calm it down and ignore it in some ways and make reasonable arguments, like the 3D printing nerd is making reasonable arguments and talking about the realism about 3D printers and what they actually make. So they're it's yeah, it's hit or miss. I actually think you're right, Bougie, because again, most people don't understand the thing, but the gun lobby is for the manufacturer. And if you can manufacture at home, that hurts them. Now, again, I know it's an unpopular opinion. I don't think people can manufacture at home with 3D printers, not a reliable one. So it doesn't hurt the gun lobby, but the people that are making the decision on that don't really understand what a printer is good for and what it's not. So they're going to be for blocking it because that hurts them making money. I know a lot of people that are into pews are going to say the gun lobby's for their interest and they're there to support them. No, they're not. Any lobbyist is there to make money. That's all they're there for. They're going to write laws that benefit the companies that pay their bills. That's the way the world works. Uh, I wasn't aware of that polymorph. That is, I don't know what a class 3 is on that. I'm sure, and I'm not familiar enough with the laws to argue if you can produce one or not. I don't think that okay, I assume that that's probably right, where it has to be, it's yours, can't be transferred. Uh, the ones that I've heard getting in trouble, and I have actually seen multiple places where they're getting in trouble making parts. Um, but they're manufacturing parts to make a pistol fully auto or something of that nature. Um, welcome in Da Vinci. But and they're making parts that wouldn't be legal for most people to sell in the first place, and they don't have the proper what licenses and other things to deal with that. So that's the ones I've heard getting in trouble. Now, I'm not saying what somebody can and can't do. You do whatever you want. I don't necessarily want to get involved in that. I make toys. The wife and I will not get involved. We're also in a state where that is not going to go well if we got involved in that stuff. But I don't think we really want to anyway.
Nope. It's always been no.
Yeah. I mean, I don't feel it.
It is asked a lot.
Yes.
It amazes me how much it's asked, but it's always gonna be no.
I'm not saying, or I'm not technically anti, but I'm not really into them either. So it's not. I'm not even a good person for that. If I was, or if we were able to do it.
I just feel like it opens a can of worms that I don't want to get into.
Um,
Would you agree?
it's a lot of things. We don't like to do too much reliability.
Right.
I mean, I don't like to make any part that somebody could get injured by. And I kind of feel that's just asking for it because if something goes wrong, somebody could get hurt. Something goes wrong with your part, and a lot of things they've asked us to make. Um, so, and it's not our thing.
No.
So it's not really. Um, I'm more interested in following anything because of the laws, and I am going to. I have been looking at, well, for other reasons too. For he's wanting to stream more, which means I'm going to have to get all of our printers where they're not communicating with the internet, so I have internet to stream. So that's the reason we're going to be taking everything offline. I've been.
It hoses the internet.
Yes.
It's terrible.
I wonder why I haven't had an exploding knife model yet. I probably will not be doing a 3D printed knife. More than likely. That's not really my expertise. I will probably be sticking with toys, but yeah, I mean, we will be adding machinery to our stuff at some point. We're actually looking at a couple larger prints that we're talking about releasing. The one's going to be pretty good size.
Yeah.
So we've been working on some larger files. That she never did release the pip or the not the board, but the guide that holds our floating frog. Should release that as a phone stand.
Hello there.
No, I did not see that. Welcome in Projects in Dad's Garage. Oh, I'm sorry. So he actually joined here. I think that is Projects in Dad's Garage. Yes. I'm sorry.
How's it going?
Oh, not too bad. Working the car, I see.
Yeah, I went to move it out of the garage today to put up shelves out here, and the battery was dead. So
Hopefully it
it's
didn't freeze dead or anything, because that would be toast.
no, the charger's working to charge it, so it's almost charged up.
Welcome in. For those that don't know him, I believe everybody here would. This is Projects in Dad's Garage. He's primarily a YouTube streamer, I guess.
Yeah,
Let me do a shout out for you because I have not got that programmed in yet. Find your
Frosted Tools, Maker Hoth. How's it going?
Welcome to my house, baby, take control now. We can't even stroll, we don't have to go out. Welcome to my house, play that music too loud. Show me what to go out.
I'm going
I
to
love
give
it.
you a shout to the YouTube
Delta
channel
Trip.
first. Find your YouTube channel. I'm following you, but oh,
I followed you on Twitch or maybe I followed your YouTube channel at Murph. But for some reason, I wasn't following you on Twitch anymore.
I didn't have my Twitch channel at Murph on any of the cards, so that's probably you probably followed my YouTube one because that's one I've been trying to build up. YouTube, I think, is
Probably then.
where I will do the best at. Let's see, at picking up or the best with some of the projects I have in mind.
Nice.
Chat. Here's a link to.
All right, you're mirrored on here.
Am I? Oh, I am
Yeah.
totally mirrored. Give me 2 seconds. I just gotta finish up what I'm doing. I jumped in too early. Hello. Welcome to the built overbought Maker House. Bob's supposed to do that. He never gets that energy in.
Yeah, I need to.
Never. Hello is
Yeah, I'm a
Mr.
little
Alex.
too laid back, right?
How's it going, man?
Not bad. How are you? Actually, I dislike you strongly. Stop giving me ideas to build things. It's driving me crazy. Where's your headset? Where's your headset?
It's over there. So I have cheesesteak. And it would be really hard to eat cheesesteak with Mike in front of my face.
I do it all the time. You just gotta get skilled at it. Hi, Bob. Thanks for having me.
And you are welcome.
It is probably a skill issue.
You're choppy tonight, Bob. Alex and I are both really clean, but you're choppy. You got too many slicers open.
Okay, that means that's actually possible.
We don't want to talk about how many slicers I have open right now.
I just closed 3. I just closed 3.
I got at least 3 in the background here, and I don't know how many minimized.
Oh, you guys. Oh, you guys.
Stephen Poole. Long time no see, brother.
Mr. Poole. Hello, sir. You ended up here because we came to the Maker House, the home of makers with Built Over Bot.
It should be fine. I'm on the.
I ran my stream just long for you, Bob.
I didn't get the memo that it was a pool party. I could have taken the iPad outside and got in the pool, done this live from the pool.
It is a pool party. It's true. Hey, Polymorph, how are you? It was nice to meet you, by the way. Yeah, but Bob, we're gonna dig a pool. We're planting a garden and digging a pool in your yard, whether you like it or not.
Listen, every structure is a pool that is just waiting on a water line leak. That's all it is.
Facts.
One water line leak away from being a pool.
If this place starts flooding from water lines,
My basement turns into a pool.
You are quiet compared to us, Bob.
Yeah, his volume's way down.
Yeah, he's low. I guess I could turn my stuff down, but
I can turn.
oops, wrong camera.
All right, so I can minimize this.
Oh, now everything's busted. Now I broke everything.
And then we go over here to.
There we go.
Ooh.
Ew, why are we mirrored? That's weird.
Am I mirrored?
Well, I'm mirrored.
Let's see. If you were looking.
You are.
I am mirrored, yeah. Which is fine. You get to see way more of the lab now.
Settings.
Maybe,
Video.
Maybe you don't need to see so much of the lab.
Oh, yeah. For some reason, the camera was set to mirrored.
Yeah.
There we go.
Because your stuff is on the door is on that side.
How do you know that?
Because I creep on you.
Here,
Bob, you are so quiet.
my mess when I was in Dad's. I don't know how I could turn it up here. Let's see if I can do this.
Well, what audio are you using? Are you using your earbuds or are you using the computer? Because, Bob, we want to hear you.
There's an auto game control in here, but
It's true. I brought the tribe over because they were asking too many questions. So I brought them over so that they can ask you too many questions.
Well, we were starting to discuss about the legislation on 3D printers, so we can always cause trouble with that one. Get everybody on record.
Hey, dude, we hit it on my channel today too, and it doesn't. I'm not even American, but again, Bob, audio.
I take it that things did not go well in California. I saw Joel posted a video like 2 days ago about California.
It's too heartbreaking, and it's. You guys talk about it, then I'll jump in at the end because it's an American thing, and as a foreigner, I really shouldn't express an opinion, but I have been very clear on my stance on it, especially because I'm a manual machinist.
Let's go over here and look and see how it turned out.
You can't vote on it here.
Yeah, but I don't want to. I don't want to sway
better,
people.
By the way,
It's getting better, but you're still too quiet. Eat the mic, Bob. Eat the mic. Or I could turn mine down to the way it used to be at like 42%. And then we can all be super quiet and Alex can teach everybody. By the way, Alex, it's nice to see you here over at Maker Haas.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Appreciate the invitation.
I'm always amazed that I get invited to podcasts.
Yeah, me too. It's fun.
Thanks, jerk.
No, I'm saying me. I'm surprised I get invited.
Oh, sure. That's a happy dog.
I'll go on record saying I'm shocked he was invited. That way I can answer, right? Both of you
That's
have
better.
a lot more than me. This mic is better. I'm turned up as high as I can go.
Yeah, we can tell. There's got to be a setting or something you can test with. Remember, for months I had problems with mics, so I'm not dogging you at all. Not trying to give you a hard time. Just I want to hear what you have to say. Alex, me, but you for sure. Because Alex will be like, do Death Racer, do Dragster,
Yeah,
do Dart Flinger, do Trike, do Electric Go Kart, do whatever crazy other, make a blimp. I know how Alex works. Don't start. No, don't start this with me. I don't even know how I get it down there. Alex, I don't even know how I get it down there. And you know I want one because I want to do flame red with neon green and put a little engine or two on top of it. You know what I mean? Because I don't care about the drag. I don't care about all the air resistance. I just want it to be cool.
Dude, they're
I'm
so
trying to get
fun.
Alex the blaster on that. Just add a blaster to the front of it where it'll fire a little Nerf dart
Oh
at
yeah, well
one of
that's
the
like
drag racers.
they were on
Yeah.
me about that with Death Racers because they're like, oh well, Maker, we know you can build that, and I was like, I can. They're like, so when are we getting a Death Racer tank? And I was like, I don't know. I don't even have one yet. I'm
That's
still
something
learning
that's the
battle
rule.
bots, man.
Drone fights would be
Like,
cool.
Well, especially
the
because you
Nerf
get enough
blaster,
energy to
like,
shut them down, right? Bob, you're underwater and like 3 miles from your microphone. Check
yeah,
your audio input.
I'm
Make
working
sure
on
it's
it.
on the right one, because sometimes I'll like pick up the camera or whatever.
Yeah, mine wanted to default to a camera that didn't exist.
Yeah.
I set it all right
Whoop.
before I entered, and when I entered, it defaulted to a camera that didn't exist. Turned my audio output to none, and changed my audio input to my webcam. That again did not exist.
Yeah. Well, like if I click the button, it'll throw you to one of the other printers here in the lab. When are you gonna have 1,000,000 cameras in your lab? You know that they're asking me for another 3 cameras, bare minimum. I think the last count was 6. I don't even know if my computer can handle 6 cameras.
Dude, I want to get more cameras, but they are so expensive. Like, I do all my streaming with webcams.
Yeah, me too.
Um, I've got one more 1080 camera that I could put up. But yeah, I need to be able
I
to
wonder if they would let us put a
change.
drone with a to go out there and shoot at the Death Racers.
Depends on the event.
I don't know. One year at Murph, they had the drones and they had people with blasters shooting at the little, uh, tiny little drones. What are they called? Tiny whoops? Is that what they're called? That's what my son called them.
Yeah, so that don't work. I
Are you
gotta find
talking
a
about
better way
from
to
Death
load my
Racers or
machine.
the BattleBots TV show?
Now we're cooking. That was good. Whatever you just did, that was awesome, Bob. Now you're cooking.
It was absolutely flawless Friday night. Audio,
That's my
video,
camera.
everything was flawless.
You are cooking with that one. That sounds good.
I'm trying. It seems like they're throttling me. I'm running through a VPN, and hopefully, but I get 20 megabytes a second as long as I'm not streaming.
Mm, a VPN is going to slow you down, not make it faster.
He's worried
But
they're
if
throttling
it's
him.
allowing me not to get where they're, yeah, it depends on where I'm being throttled.
You're afraid
I
that
was
they're
testing at 10
throttling
megabytes per
video
second.
streaming? Is that upload or
Yes.
download speed, though?
Yeah. Is it 20 down, 10 up?
20 up, 200 down.
Huh.
That's what I've
You need
got.
to call and complain. That's what I did. There was a whole time there where we lagged on here. And it was like we were getting bad bar service on Twitch. I called and threw a fit like 6 times. And finally they fixed it.
I've talked to them and they're saying it's not them, it's Twitch.
No,
Which it's not even Twitch. I go to Restream anyway. Because
it
that way
can't
I
be
can stream
Twitch.
the multiplication.
It can't be
Yeah,
Twitch
it's a Twitch.
because Twitch is receiving the data. It's like what I said to my ISP. I was like, they're like, oh, it's a Twitch problem. I'm like, no, it's a you problem because I make my media. My media then goes through your router, which then connects me to the internet. You are the bottleneck. And then they finally did it.
Yeah. I'm assuming that you don't have fiber out there. I'm assuming you don't have fiber.
Fiber is like $300 a month. I can't necessarily right now afford to pay that to stream.
Holy cow. I think Starlink is like $60 a month or something.
Be doable, but the problem is Starlink is 10 megabytes per second upload, which means I should be doing better with this.
Should be, but you're not.
Call and complain, man. I keep telling you guys, complain until you get a result.
It's basically what I'm in the process of doing is just complaining.
And if you get mad enough, just make a YouTube video about it.
Computer, same there.
Because they hate it when you make a YouTube video about how bad the service is. And then what you do is you send that link to everybody, you post it on Twitter, just rub it in their faces until something changes. Because that's the only, nowadays, that's the only way to do things. You have to complain, and finally something might change. I can get some water, I'll be right back. But that's my
It
experience.
does seem to be, I think, working a little bit better and on my end as far as what I can watch on this than what it has been.
Good.
So
good to hear.
It is a little bit of an improvement with the VPN, but I get it's not perfect for you guys.
Oh, it's just you're a little choppy. All right.
Well, I can't hear my own audio.
So you gonna jump into this like thing with the printers, and you guys can express yourselves, and then I'll have a final opinion.
My opinion has been the same all the way across. I'm against the ship, but I'm also not for printing thermoplastics for cubes because I don't think it's the right material. Now, I also think that a few people are doing it just for clicks and causing about half, which I know that's a controversial one because I know he's the guy that's doing the most, so it's a popular streamer. That I think is hard, but I don't think he believes what he's saying, and that's probably what pisses me off the most about it. Is I think he's just manipulating his people to get clicks. But yeah. So yes, real yes. I don't think that anything's going to change. What's wrong with the Hyundai? Oh, dead battery, Agent Cole. And that's actually the reality of it, Polymorph. What they're trying to make illegal is already illegal. The only thing they're wanting to add is illegal search and seizure, as you pointed out earlier. That's all they want to do is send it to the face.
It's not actually illegal most places. There's only a few states where manufacturing a firearm is illegal.
No, it's illegal on the federal level to sell. Without an
It is.
MFL.
So you cannot. So if you manufacture a firearm, you cannot transfer that firearm without a serial. You can apply for a serial. It's a Form 1. I could be wrong. I think it's Form 1. To apply for a serial, and then you can transfer it. And it doesn't even cost anything to get the serial. Just file the paperwork. But they're not worried about that. They just don't want people making them, period. at the end of the day, some states would tomorrow ban firearms altogether if they could. But the problem is they're doing this knowing that it won't stand up in courts. But it sets a precedent that other states are going to follow. It's going to they're going to get away with it for a couple of years until it works its way through the legislation, through the judicial system. And they know that. They've said it. They've come out and said, right? Well, if it's unconstitutional, we'll let the courts figure it out. That's not how you write legislation. You do not write legislation and then let the courts figure it out later. At that point, why are we paying you to be legislatures? If you can't write legislation and you're just going to broad stroke it and say, we'll let the judges figure it out, then why are you even there?
I think for a group of people in the government, it's a win-win-win. It's a win because it looks like they did something, and the gun lobby will pay them to go off on this tangent instead of something that actually matters to them. So they can they'll pay the legislators to do it. It's a win because a bunch of morons that are anti-gun will say that this is a good thing. You don't want to actually accomplish anything because the files will still be there. There'll still be offline printers. People can still manufacture in other manners, so it's not going to actually change anything. And it's a win because they didn't actually have to do anything.
Yeah.
So
it's all ridiculous. Like Beardy.
The Bearderino. Lord Barrington.
Hope you're enjoying
I'm
your
mirrored today.
stream vacation, Beardy. Missed you at Murph. Wish you were there.
I think he didn't want to go to Murph because he didn't want to beat me. I figure I just ran him off.
I can believe that.
That's my theory.
It's a solid theory.
Don't feel bad. I have that effect on people too.
So can I tell you guys the Canadian side of this or no? Do you guys care? Okay, so right off the bat, there's a couple things that really annoy me because it is coming the same way. Our legislation is very much mirroring California. But in Canada, one, the production of a firearm is illegal. The possession of a produced prohibited device is what is that. So that's two laws. A possession of ammunition without a license is also still a crime. So those all there equal 40 years in prison. Okay, those three. That's just the start of it. So they are trying to do the same thing here, but the root of all of this, no matter what people try to tell you, has to do with copyright. It's all just a smoke and mirrors show for copyright. So Disney, Nintendo, Games Workshop, Hasbro, Mattel, we could go on and on. There's a bunch of big companies that their hands are tied. They can't do anything. So if they have an online server, while they're looking at whatever you're producing, they can also say, "Oh well, you're in copyright infringement." But like Joel Telling has said, like I've said, like other people have said, there are workarounds no matter what object orientation device you have, no matter what AI you use to watch what I'm building. There's workarounds for it. Not only that, but desktop aluminum mills have existed for 20 years. Vice News did a thing on it. They did nothing about it. And the other thing that comes up is if you're so worried about kids doing it, because that's kind of like the underlying thing that's happening, where are you as an adult responsible? Like, why does that have to be a governmental thing? As for the United States, because I've asked quite a bit about it, I've heard about the license for manufacturing Alex, FFL, I believe.
Yeah, but you don't. So I I don't need. In most states, you do not need an FFL to manufacture a firearm.
Okay.
Um, as a private citizen, you have the right in most states to manufacture a firearm if you so choose.
Sure.
Like I said, the only issue comes is if I want to transfer it to another person,
Sure.
right? Be that sell it or give it away. It doesn't matter. I can't do that without it having a serial number on it. And you can just fill out a form. They'll issue you a serial. You put it on the firearm, and you're good to go.
Well, Beardy, I
Um,
agree with Grant. Where are the teachers? Where are the parents? I
Kids
don't
aren't
need.
making firearms. It's not kids. That's a straw. So the whole thing is a straw man argument. They're propping this argument up so you argue against that rather than paying attention to the real issue, right? Which is,
It's just copyright.
yeah, is they're saying, look what's over here, and pay no attention to what this hand's doing over here.
Correct. And here in Canada, it's insane to me because we have. It's like you guys said. It's already on the books. Already on the books. But the thing behind all of this, let's just set some of this aside for a second. Why is the government? I can only speak for Canada, but why is the government not offering an opportunity to have localized manufacturing for firearms? Because we buy all our firearms. Canada buys all our firearms from Europe.
I understand, Beardy. I understand the education and manufacturing side of it,
Yep.
but the entire thing comes down to you are. It's education. Manufacturing is a secondary. Firearms is secondary. The primary thing is they are infringing on people's rights. It doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
They're infringing on people's rights. You know, uh,
He gets to actually.
government
I fully think it's
surveillance.
to do IP.
You know,
Yeah.
First Amendment infringements, Second Amendment infringements, Fourth Amendment infringements. The whole thing is illegal unconstitutional on so many different grounds. It's ridiculous, right? And it doesn't matter whether you want to look at it from the education to manufacturing, personal freedoms, personal privacy, the whole thing, right? Pick whatever one tickles your fancy. It's unconstitutional for something you believe in. I promise you.
Actually, I don't think it has anything to do with what they're talking about. I actually fully believe this is to start getting IP in there, and I think big companies are backing
Oh yeah,
I got
that's what
because
it
there's
is.
nothing constitutional about it.
That's that because even here in Canada, because we already have rules on the books about it all, they still want to do it. They want to spend money they don't need to spend, and they already can't manage their own budgets as is. They are damaging the next generation of engineers and tradesmen, and they're damaging the localized manufacturing of because they want to stay big manufacturing. They don't want little manufacturing, right? Because they have less control over little manufacturing. But there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And again, it's like the funny thing about all of this is, let's talk maybe a sidestep here. So here in Canada, they banned all flavored tobacco that wasn't adult flavors. So like
Yeah,
grape,
we're
for
trying to do the
example.
same thing here.
And they say, oh well, it's to protect the kids to not get them smoked, not to get them involved. There's Australia or England is like basically banning the sale of tobacco at a certain year, and and no one will be. I hate to tell you this. One, tobacco grows really easy, and two, um, why is it the government's job to stop kids from smoking? That's your parents' job, right?
You can't legislate morality. You will
No,
never be able to legislate morality.
They try that here
Never
in
will.
Canada all the time. They try to do language control. It's crazy because I'm a big hey, can we pump the brakes? Can we back up a little bit? Because for example, there was a guy in Manitoba, which is one of the smaller. It's a big province, but it's got a very small population. He manufactured some. Oops, too big. And they made a big deal about it. He had 2. Oh well, he could have made more. Well, already it's against the law to own the files to create. So they could have put that guy in jail for 60 years just off the bat, just with the stuff that he had, without looking for more stuff. But what it is it's just a bait and switch. It's okay. So now we can control 3D printers, and we can limit what they can produce. And now companies will be like, oh well, since you already have the infrastructure, can we ask you to copyright infringement? Can we ask you? And that's what it is. That it's the sake of, and again, I've complained and I've said this and whatever, right? And yeah, I agree. Legislating morality, they try that here in Canada all the time. It doesn't change anything. It doesn't make anything better. It actually adds more things. It slows down the courts. It stacks up things. And it's like you said, Alex, it's like why are they writing laws that they know will be fought? Because we have a Supreme Court too. Why are they writing laws to wait for someone to fight that on the Supreme Court of whatever? Because there's a Supreme Court of a province, so there's a Supreme Court of British Columbia, for example, and then there's the Supreme Court of Canada. Why are they legislating rules that they know that people then have to spend money to fight back? For example, if you don't know, they're trying. Love you, Beardy. I saw you lurking earlier. I appreciate you. It's like you said, you can't legislate morality. Even now, like the F word, you cannot write the F word in public here in Canada.
Oh, that's ridiculous. Hey guys, kids just got home from their vacation, so I'm gonna hop off here, go see them. It's been great talking to you, Bob. Thanks for having me on. I'll come back any other
Thanks
time
for
you
joining.
want to have me on. Millwright, always a pleasure hanging
Have a
out
good
with
night.
you. I'll talk to everybody later.
Be safe, brother.
And
Yeah,
I think it's go to the llama. I think they're not paying attention to the legislation because most CNC machines would don't communicate with the internet. So they're not looking at it as something that affects them. And I actually have a feeling when it all boils down to it, it won't affect 90% of the CNC machines. It's only going to affect a few models that send it over the internet. Now, that's where the problem is going to be. They cannot legislate that every CNC machine has to connect to the internet. That's not realistic. In fact, they're never going to legislate that every 3D printer connect to the internet. What they're going to say is if it connects to the internet and the slices over the internet, it has to go through the database. Now that will hamstring most 3D printers because most of us are now sending our files over the internet. If you got a Creality, a Bamboo, a Snapmaker, I'm not using it, or an LG, I'm assuming.
and the cubic.
I'm not used those, but I'm assuming those are sending over the internet. So it will lock it up.
Get canceled for
So
sure.
I'm working on it. But because I know my opinions will piss off both sides to a certain extent.
It just makes me crazy
You
because
actually make everybody happy.
it's. So when are they going to ban sports cars then? Just as a reference here in Canada.
I would be more for a ban of that, but you know.
Yeah, but that's my point, right? For example, years ago, the British Columbia government owns the insurance company and it's tied into your driver's license, so it's all very, very hands-on here. They had to go and say hey, we can't insure these $125,000 cars because why should everyone pay for your mistake? And then recently, car insurance, they've gone to no fault here in British Columbia, which is terrible, by the way, but whatever. Because then you're fighting for what you paid for, which I don't understand. But what I don't understand is they won't take my phone calls. So I call and I've been calling for weeks months now, trying to talk to somebody. Because Joel Telling's answer was the best answer I've seen yet versus the desktop manufacturing, which is like, come see what we do. Just come see. At Maker Camp is all about that. My version of Maker Haas is all about that, right? Bringing people in who have no idea. They know it's a thing, and they know people use it, and they've used it a little bit, but they don't know what we do with them, right? Come talk to me. I'll show you what I know. But it's like a ghost in the
I
machine,
want to
man.
open up things because I don't think that, and I know this is not going to be a popular opinion. I don't think everybody needs a 3D printer if they're not going to use them. They're not ready for trading
They're
on.
not there yet,
A
but
lot
they
of people
will be
use it
microwaves. On
I
Alex's
don't
stream
disagree.
on Friday, we had Misplaced Moose, and I just had to say to him, because and I think to Jonathan Levy, I said, is like they're gonna be microwaves, like a replicator, whatever that Star Trek thing is, but because Bamboo's already almost there, right? Where you just go online, you type in what you want, you grab the file, you print it. That's pretty much a microwave. And I've said before, it's like a lot of houses. Now, remember, we're not talking about the washing machine size ones that a lot of us are think they should exist, but the ability to just like fabricate something in your home, right? But again, there's this whole like subculture that believes like people are out there saying, "Oh well, you'll never own anything and you'll be happy." Like that's a whole fear a lot of people have, which I understand, right? Because like for example, PlayStation just pulled 500 movies from their network. So you end up with that two things where it's like, oh well, you have an operating license for your printer. If you don't pay your operating, it's like in England, right? If you don't pay the TV license, you can't have a TV. Hey, Polyphil. But they need to, like, everybody's going broke,
So on
man.
the snap makers, LAN only, that's where we don't have everything set for LAN only. My snap maker made because we're trying to limit our connections out for internet reasons.
Yeah.
And I can see people doing it for other reasons.
Well,
but when you're running, so we're running 8
10 machines, right?
I don't. Well, I've actually got around 14 right now.
Yeah.
Machines, different connections.
Sure.
Most of them, actually, all of them are, except for one, are now networkable.
Sure.
So all of that,
Hey,
we're going to end up with our own little server for it.
Oh, pardon me, Dark. Sorry. I have to make a correction because I was wrong. You can have a television. You just can't watch BBC channels, British Broadcasting Company channels, without a license. Pardon me. My apologies. But nonetheless,
how many people won't pay for license and just watch BBC anyway?
Well,
most.
Like the CBC, Canadian Broadcasting Company, that's their government funded. And I had this debate with another Canadian that I think that the other companies like Global and CTV get money from the government as well. Apparently I was wrong, but which is fine. But my point still stands. If nobody has any money, nobody's gonna own houses. So like, and if there's too many rules for everything, then nobody's gonna want anything. Gen Z doesn't drive. Just so you know. At least here in Canada, they don't. They're not interested.
Here, a lot of people would just assume not, but not all of them. Yep. But we even have them in the country that don't drive.
Yep. There's too many rules.
So I get it. But I think that they think that we're going to have automatic cars and they don't have to learn to drive. They don't have to have the stress of it. And it's a very thing. So
those are $100,000 cars, dude. It's a tenth of the price of a house here.
I believe that most people in that case think that they're going to be taxis that they just call and they pay service. I don't think that they're expecting an ever on a call. I don't think a lot of Gen Z ever expects to own a house. And yes, they
Even me,
They don't
I'm
see
of the
reality
opinion
standards.
I'm never gonna own a house. I just did. Like I don't. Cars here are $50,000. Houses are 1.2 million where I am. I know there's cheaper places in Canada, but you know, basically anything within 2 hours drive of an airport is a ridiculous sum of money. In again, the world's second largest landmass or third largest landmass, fourth wealthiest country in the entire world due to natural resources.
Realistically, that's why I think that the maker studio and things like it are going to be important, because I think people are going to need places to go to do things and make things. Hopefully, that they're inspired to do so, and put the space in their house.
Dude,
Because if there's a good, maker studio, if I had my place near you, when you want to go, I also don't think, again, we're melting plastic, and you should be around and maintaining your printer. These things could cause problems if you don't do so. The resin printers are toxic smells if you don't do something about it. They can have this stuff in their house safe. That's just a reality. So I actually think that these places will actually, I think it will in the rural areas, and we're trying. Or unless you're talking about the autonomous vehicles, I think maker spaces will actually work in rural areas.
oh, I agree.
Don't think
Dude,
autonomous vehicles will.
You and I totally agree on that. Like I think, like for example, like what Digital Dragon's doing, where it's like a shop. There's also that nice guy down in Florida. I always forget his name, but they have shops, and you can just like come in and give them the STLs, give them whatever, order what you want, and it's not very expensive. They manufacture it for you, and you get it. No machine upkeep, no material purchasing, nothing. They just do it for you. But I think that's a real thing. I've talked about that before, where there'll be a localized manufacturer near you, ideally. And where my version of Maker Haas and Maker Camp is much different than others, because mine's a content creation site. Right? That's where it is. It's not general access. Nobody's touching nothing unless they already know what they're doing. That's a different perspective. Like your and I's perspective on what this is different, yet the same. But I'm just of the opinion, right, to get to that topic, is it is all about copyright. And that's the thing, is like you can't regulate it and you can't regulate morality. So what are you going to do? Oh, well, we'll just shut down the 3D printers. Well, you're shutting down the future of manufacturing. Like straight up, no ifs, ands, or buts. And then you're outsourcing that manufacturing to other countries, which we're already doing, which is what's making us poor, because all our money goes out of our economy and into a different economy.
I think that I don't think actually most of the money goes outside the economy. I think it stays in a few hands. The problem with the Great Depression was the fact that we were out of money. The problem with the Great Depression was all the money was in a few hands and it wasn't flowing around. You cannot manufacture goods for one person. And that's actually when the economy crashes. Nobody has a job, and only the rich benefit. And I think that's actually more or less what it is. That's why I said it's about IP.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, I'm
I
not
agree.
for stealing IP, but in fact, I said in your channel, I don't think that people should be able to license out IP that they don't own.
I agree.
That's my opinion.
The fan art bracket has
can't.
grown too much. The fan art bracket is crazy, and I don't blame big companies for going for it. But again, I've said before, if you know that that company does not like that and they don't want you to do that, why aren't you creating something new to oppose that and get something? And the simple truth is people like what they know, and it's a whole marketing thing. It's why you can't make something new. You have to make something similar and then get to new. As for makerspaces, it's an hour. It's $800 for a slot in our in a makerspace in one township over, and then the other makerspace, which is downtown, is an hour and a half drive. So it's each way, right? So
$800 for a slot per month, I assume.
yeah,
Um,
and it's not a hot work site. It's woodworking, which would then not be good for the machines because all the dust. But it's not. I can't weld there. I can't cut metal there. I can't do any legitimate hot work. So it's like, yeah, makerspaces are cool, but I don't know about you, but I don't have another 800, 850 bucks in my back pocket every month.
I didn't actually see charging that. And I'm actually having a hot space, a woodworking space, sewing space, printing space,
Yep.
metal casting.
That's more hot work.
You know, at some point, somebody or we actually want a glory hole sitting there for glass blowing glass work. So, and forging. So yeah, but I still couldn't even dream of general. That's just insane. That's for rich people.
That's what I said.
It better be private concierge service.
Well,
and
I sell digital items, which you can manufacture, or I have manufacturers throughout the world that will do it for you, and you can buy physical copies of everything I do. But I don't. It's like I was saying, everyone's too poor, so I don't know. Like, the recession is going to end. It will. Something will happen. There's not going to be a 20-year depression, right? It's just not. We're coming up on 7 years now. There will be a turnover. I don't know how big the growth will be, but there has to be a turnover. It has to change. But again, buying items that are manufactured overseas and then come here, be it European or Asia, it doesn't really matter. If it can't be manufactured here because we can't get the raw materials, it has to be manufactured over there. But again, like, I have a lot of complaints about that side of Canada because Canada used to be an industrial country. It's now a consumer country. The United States used to be a manufacturing country. It's now a consumer country. It's getting better. But again,
the reason it's not is because the fact isn't because people weren't willing to work. That's been in the papers since the papers are written. It's 100% the fact that people don't want to pay. That's why we're not a manufacturing.
Well, they can't pay because they don't get paid enough. And if you look at the 1950s, 1960s, and yes, they were not the best of times, but they did have some good things going for them. The resources were available. That's when the largest industrial growth happened in the United States and Canada, same time. Canada is always about 10 years behind the States. But again, it's one, every time you hamstring the CNC world, you're hamstringing the youth. But they push kids out of trades and into white collar jobs like programming, things like that, which is great. But now all of the trades are old. And and again, if you're going to be treated poorly at work, which sometimes in trades you do, why would you get up at 4:30 in the morning to make $5 more an hour than you can make in an office where it's just passive aggressive? And that's definitely a thing oppressors have said to me.
Notice I'm sitting in here because it's 97 degrees outside instead of in my shop. That's exactly what a tradesperson's going to say. I mean, hey, I can sit in an office for $5 less an hour. We're all the ones that treat the trades badly. I think the trades are probably one of the meanest occupations in a way, but it's the culture. I mean, we pick on each other. It's a way to pass time.
Well, it's not just that though, because my experience in trades, and I've had quite a bit. There's a sense of humor that's different, but it's because it's dangerous. So the sense of humor is very gallows humor, very like get her done, right? But it's also that, if I can work, and not me, but if somebody can work in an office for $22 an hour, or they can go work as a plumber for 27. For some reason, if you're an office worker, you get more respect, which I'll never understand, because an office worker cannot change the brakes in their own car. They're not useful.
It's the cleaner somebody is, the more respect they get.
Yeah.
And I don't know that should be that way, but it is. I mean,
Yeah.
if you don't get dirty, you get more respect.
Yeah.
When I worked as an engineer, I got a lot more respect than I was a mechanic. Now, I couldn't own as much as an engineer. I know I did get paid, but I had to live in higher cost of living areas to where it evened out. I was paying more for a garage than some people were paying for a house down at where I'm at now. And that was just for a parking space.
I
So,
understand retro, but it's just a
yeah.
reference. Like, and besides an apprentice, plumber does make 27. I won't say how much
Yeah, I
bill
know
rate
plumbers
but
that are making, but not every plumber is making $300,000 a year either.
yeah, it's true. But they're definitely that's an
There's some
apprentice
that are,
wage.
but
That's an apprentice wage. Just like not all office workers are making 22. But my point still stands is like, actually I was thinking about it today on stream. So do you remember? Maybe you don't remember, but do you know? Do you remember? I guess this is anyway. In the 80s and the early 90s, truckers became heroes in movies. Look at what's that one with Schwarzenegger, and what's that one? Well, Big Trouble in Little Chinatown. But truckers were gaining popularity. It trades are gonna become popular. They are. BG and the Bear. Yeah, there you go. See, you know what I'm talking about. Like the ability to be
these bandits,
useful.
stuff like that.
Yeah. Smoke. Yeah. You guys follow. Well, I think that's going to start happening with trades. Because remember, I love plumbers and I love electricians. I say you always want a friend who's a plumber and you always want a friend who is an electrician, and they're a very common trade.
I mean,
and you probably want a friend that's a
electrician,
lower.
nah.
And we like to make fun of electricians around here, just so you guys know. That's just a running gag. If you know, you know. If you don't, the electricians aren't offended. Trust me. But that's the thing. Is like,
I would wonder, can an electrician be a witch? Or can a
no,
witch be an electrician?
No, because they don't know what a broom is. Yeah, we like carpenters. Carpenters get the most crap, and there's like 4 sub trades of carpenter. Because there's different types of carpenters. There's like framing and house building carpenters.
You can't pick on the carpenter because you have to wait till they're done before anybody else can start. That's not fair.
Well, yeah, and then they drag.
I mean, drywall people you can pick on. You can't pick on those guys because then you have no work.
Oh, the gyprock guys? Well, electricians are just as bad as gyprock guys. Gyprock guys will cover an outlet. Electricians will bash through a wall to get what they need, right? Yeah, you try wiring or plumbing without walls. Fact.
Yeah, that's why you guys get ignored. You're done on the job before everybody else shows up. I actually agree in a way, Polymorph. Yeah. Because you got these people filming bad videos on how to do things, and people started a lot more DIY. I am starting to see more and more professionals, at least, make videos to where there wasn't a guy who built a deck once, and he just doesn't realize that his deck's going to collapse in a few weeks. Telling people how to build decks.
To stay on point, this all revolves back to bringing back industry to North America, right? And that's the thing. And it's like, again, my apprentices were always older. Now, granted, I'm in a weird trade, so that's fine. But my apprentices they were not 16, 17-year-old apprentices. They were like 25, 30, right? So.
Right, Polymorph, but you almost have to have a clue what you're doing before you can weed through the crappy videos. The internet is the world's knowledge base. The problem is it's also the knowledge base of morons.
Yes.
They're feeding into that data. That's also why I've always joked. I mean, there's not serious. It's because I've seen so much trash online. I don't think that you should trust me just because I tell you I'm an expert.
Well, but look at this. Look at TV. Hold on. Look, because to this point, look at TV. This Old House. What was that cabinet maker show called? Junkyard Wars. Um, there was a bunch of just like, of course, they picked the wrong companies, but there was a bunch of companies that did manufacturing on Discovery. You know, even Great Biker Build Off was a cool thing because it was bringing people more into that world. But there's good Monster House. Yes. Oh, thank you, Retro. That's one of my favorites. Ridiculous, but still awesome. Because your house, and I'd love to own. That's why I want a house. Because I want to build ridiculous stuff. I want a turret on my house. I know it's weird. I don't even care if the house can fit a turret. I want a turret on my house. I think turret rooms or turret towers in houses are friggin' awesome. And trust you me, when we get Maker House, I'm putting all you dogs to work. Don't you worry. We'll get it all drawn up. I need a friend that's an architect. I think I know one. And we're putting all you dogs to work. Don't you worry. Because we're building a turret for a house. I don't care what anyone says. You built turret? They're cool, right? Yes, they're weird. I know, and they're from a particular style of house. I forget the name of the housing type, but I like them. Just like I don't like decks. I like porches. I have the things I like, but I can run electrical wiring. I can hook up boxes. The thing is, I'm smart enough to know if I'm going to do that, I'm going to get an electrician to double check my work. I don't want to burn my house down. Even did the. Oh, no way. Why are you so cool, Biking Viking? Is it tutors with turrets? Is that what it is? I thought. What's the asymmetrical one, Retro? Because I like asymmetrical things. But that's what I'm saying, Bob. Like, it's going to come back. And sure, I'm old man yelling at clouds. Fine. Fine. But when I'm here live or on YouTube, one of my messages is try, and one of my messages is you can do it. But I do have a skill set. I am a university educated. I'm a university educated industrial mechanic. That's what I am. I'm a full Red Seal mechanic, which is, if you guys know anything about industrial mechanics, you'll know it's a really weird trade. And Bob, you're an engineer and a small engine repair mechanic. And there was what's the other thing you do, Bob? Oh, you're a designer. Pardon me, digital designer. But what's the other trade that you do? You're a machinist, right?
I've actually got a couple of trades I've done 2 years back. Computer network security analyst for casinos. I've done and got the government, oddly. I did
manual trades. Sorry, I mean manual
engineer.
Trades.
Manual trades. Technically, you classify electrical engineer, mechanic.
But you're a small engine repair mechanic, right?
PLC programming. I do anything from large tractors,
okay.
essentially, all the way
down. So you're a heavy duty mechanic and a small engine repair mechanic. Sorry, I wasn't sure. Yeah. But my point is, there are those of us out here on Twitch pushing that perspective of 1, you can do it, 2, you can learn it, 3, it's a good career. Right? That we all push that. Now I'm disabled. I get it. It's hard. Maker, you never run a lathe. You never run a mill. You never weld. You're never building gearboxes. You're not working on pumps. I get that. Okay. You're not building cars. We live in a world of limitations, and mine are a lot. But it doesn't mean that I don't know, and it doesn't mean I haven't done it. And I try to push that every day. And I agree with you, Bob. There is so much chaff. There's 90% of the chaff on the internet is somebody who figured it out, but does not know how to do it correctly. They just figured it out, which again is good, but also very bad.
Actually, I think especially in the mechanic space, a lot of it is operating, but not operating right. So it's not going to last. And if we did that type of work, same with the construction, it will work for temporarily, but it won't work long term. And there's a difference between somebody who can film it and somebody who can do it as well. So people see videos, it's got good production value. He's got the right angles, the great lighting, and you can see things, but you can see him doing it wrong.
Yeah, and that's what kills me. That's where it falls down for me, because everyone's like, oh, because the way I do things, I do them the right way, and I do them the way they work. But the hard time I have is like, I don't make great videos. I make great stuff. And having the skill set to make great videos, edit that stuff is a whole new skill set. And it takes up time and space for me to do the other thing that I'm really good at. So I'm poor at one thing and really good at the other. One of my videos I found for
Hey,
my
Mike,
poor
you want to answer that one? Because
wrong and caused it, call it out. Yeah.
I actually seen people doing it right. They got called out and acted like they were doing it wrong in the comments. So if you really don't know, tell us. In a lot of cases, YouTube can be a problem. And I guarantee you, almost any repair out there or anything you're doing, there's a video telling you how to do it the right way. You just got to find that video. Well, YouTube is a good resource.
Yeah.
But you have to have a clue what you're doing to be able to tell if the guy knows what he's talking.
Well, and what is it? I know it.
Exactly.
The old saying, I know enough to be dangerous. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm old, and that's definitely YouTube. But one of the things is like people don't have the money to pay for a mechanic. That's the thing. It's like they don't have money to pay to have a fence made. They don't, so they end up DIYing it, and it goes down, 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 and that's where it is. It again. This is like out of my pay grade, but it's awfully hard, at least in my perspective, to ever even imagine owning a home. But if I did, that's what we would be doing. We'd be bringing in people who know what they're doing, like, for example, Jimmy DeRista does, and we would be showing the respect that trades get, showing people that that's a path forward, and things like that. People are convincing good speakers, not necessarily knowledgeable. Exactly, because it's a different skill set. It's absolute. I totally could not agree more.
Now, sadly, I'm going to actually be adding to that because I was told by somebody how to do a lot of this, but was he an expert? I don't know. In some cases, I mean, some people working in the trades don't know how to do their job.
It's true.
As well.
Because they don't care enough.
You are watching a master at work.
Right, they just don't care enough.
So essentially, I'm going to be doing things, and I'll have to learn as I go because I'm sure I'll be doing things wrong.
Sure.
But I'm doing woodworking in there, and I am very weak on, especially framing.
I'm not a cabinet maker.
I have built my room. I built cabinets at a cabinet shop, but does that mean I'm an expert? I don't know. But yeah, that's basically, I mean.
Agreed. And it's one of those things like, and you try to tell them like, but see, I've stopped doing that, right? Like my whole position, I don't. I take the Keanu Reeves position. If you tell me I'm wrong, okay. If this is the way it's done, okay, I'm gonna do it the way I know that's correct. And I'm very much a stickler for that. Is doing it the correct way, doing it the way that matters, making sure it lasts. And that's what it is, right? I'm very much a stickler for that. So, but I still think that something like this old house will come back because nobody knows how to make a project start to finish. And yes, there's lots of YouTube, so they got to go and start digging up YouTube talent, right? There's got to be a really fine cabinet maker, or retired cabinet maker, or near retirement cabinet maker that you can go dig up and write a TV show with. There's got to be a house builder company that you can go, and they're not building, like they're not slap two houses. They're building craftsman houses. I know craftsman's a type. I don't understand the name behind it, but you know what I'm saying, right? That there's going to be a return because at some point the world's going to get so small for people. They're not going to be able to buy, fast food. They're not going to be able to go out for dinner. They're not going to be able to go out for drinks. They're not going to be able to go see a movie because they're going to price everybody out of everything. And then they're just going to do it at home. And that was actually in the 90s. That was what was happening. And then they fixed it. But that's why the rise of DIY came up, was because you couldn't hire a guy for $12,000 to build you a full fence for your yard, right? You just couldn't do it. So you had to do it yourself. Yeah, that's why I just don't.
Probably
People's egos are crazy.
By Kentucky.
Say again, Bob.
should think that as I do some of my restoration stuff, I'm going to learn that I'm doing things wrong because I've seen it in the past.
Oh, I'm happy to learn someone else's other way, but I am a skilled tradesman. I have completed my like I can teach, I can run sites. I've been maintenance manager. I've done all that stuff. I'm a metal guy. So, if a flooring guy comes in and tells me, oh, well, this is the better way to do it, I'm going to listen to the flooring guy. If a tile guy comes in, if a glass guy comes in, if a framer comes in, of course I am. Because I've learned over my experience in life, you could smell the phonies. You can smell them. You can smell them a mile away. As soon as they start, if they're doing it bad, shut them down, get somebody else. Oh, no, absolutely.
I know, like, some of my electrical work is different than others because I was taught by a hospital electrician
Yeah.
out of my house. So I do things a little differently than what primarily I get yelled at for rapidly plug and take. But
Well, there's a secret here, Bob. In Canada, there's books. They're called code books. There's electricians code books. There's construction code books for housing. There's construction books for industrial. There's a book that you can just go to, and if you're not sure, you can learn from that. And of course, you can always have talent come in, right? But I don't know how it works in the States. But I will polymorph. No company paid for my apprenticeship. Not a single one. I paid for it all. So I didn't get the help. Every time I went to school, they laid me off and I had to find a new job. Every time. Every single time my whole career. Because you're right. They don't want to mentor you. They don't want to pay for it. They don't want to give you time for school. They just get somebody else. And even in a small trade like mine, that's what they do. So I see the same. So that and everyone's like, "Oh, there's no company loyalty. Why don't you want to work overtime?" Because I know that you're not going to help me. Right? You've been very clear, right? Wow, that's rough. And I thought I was bad. That's rough.
That's kind of common anymore, unfortunately, I think. When we're the, the boss
There's
making
going to
$2
be
less than you, that's kind of odd. But
in 10 years, there's going to be a huge skill gap in North America because all the companies don't want to pay for it. And granted, the companies before didn't. That's why unions came about, right? That they didn't. They was just do your job, shut up, do what you're told, right? And then unions came about and things changed. And remember, Canadian laws for labor always reflect very similar to what the unions have negotiated. So it's like the government looks to the unions for guidelines on how to improve the basic standard of living. So, but now Canada's doing everything it can to break unions. So, and I'm not a union guy. I never worked in a union. So, do I have a problem with it? No. I'm grateful for what they've done, right? The teachers union is what got paternity leave here in Canada. So, but yeah,
unions
there's going
were
to
a
be a huge skill
double-edged
gap.
sword for a lot of people.
Yep.
Because there were unions that will protect the lazy.
Yep.
And we need to protect everybody. Protect the actual workers. But, I do think some unions got to where they're protecting the lazy, pissing off the good workers and running away.
Well, remember,
that's why I say polymorph's right. There's good in it.
Of course, and that's exactly my opinion. Again, like I'm definitely pro union, right? I definitely there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm pro union. Always have been, always will be. Even though I've never really worked for a union. Yeah, I've had a couple of union contracts and stuff, but I never was a long-term union member, and I've always been a contractor, right?
Pro union, but I actually think that a properly run union, and I'm talking police unions, fire unions, all of them. If you're the son of a union or guy, to cut out the nepotism and some of it, they shouldn't allow family members to be put in officer position. It shouldn't be a family.
Yeah, it shouldn't end up being a family business. Again, like I don't know, because again, I've never spent enough time in a union to do it, right? It just never worked out for me. And a lot of times is I have seen unions protect troublemakers, guys with attitudes, and guys who will do the very bare minimum. Which again, I guess that's the whole point of the union is like that's the bare minimum, that's what we do. But I'm a tryhard and I like to work and I tend to work myself out of contracts. The contract gets short because I just finish the work, right? So again, it's industrial manufacturing in general are my love. And as you were talking about engineering, like I have to look at something to find my way now, right? Because I cannot be a millwright anymore. It's just never going to happen. Um, so and the closest thing to a millwright is a I don't know what to call it. It's like a 2-year engineering program
Mechatronics.
versus a 4-year, right?
For mechatronics, they're basically mechanical
Yeah.
or automation
Yes.
engineer.
Well, no, mechatronics is a direct engineering course. It is a direct path. Um, I think if I can get because I'm so nervous about school, I always get nervous about school. I always get nervous about tests because I just don't think the way other people think. Um, but the I think I want to do mechanical engineering. And the advice I've been given by companies who are friendly to me, which there's a few, have definitely said mechatronics is great. But if you had mechanical engineering, it'd be much better for us. And I'm not really interested in electrical engineering. It's just not enough hitting stuff with hammers for me. I'm sorry. If that's your career, and I know that was yours, Bob, so I mean no disrespect. Well, maybe a little disrespect. Just enough to bother you, right? Just a little jab in the ribs. But but for me, especially with where I see North America going, I think mechanical engineering is going to be a big deal. I really do. I grew up
Mine was mechanical engineering. I worked as a automation engineer.
metal
So
finished at immediately Boston. Yeah, that's rough.
actually, if
I'm
I would
sorry,
have went
Mike.
back at it, it should have been mechanical engineering.
Oh, okay.
I should have majored
So that's
in
your
that instead
advice?
of electrical. But I actually think so because I think electrical is going to be, and I know that the electrical engineer is going to hate me for this. I think AI will take electrical engineering. And hear me out. A circuit, you know what the in circuit is. So you're sitting down trying to draw that out. A mechanical device has got more troubleshooting in it in a lot of ways. And a lot of electrical engineering is coding and programming, ladder logic, that sort of thing. And you can see it automated out.
You think so, polymorph?
But
And Viking. Dude, I don't want to be an engineer. I like being a millwright. I liked fixing. I liked people who made more money than me asking me for help after they insulted me and me telling me I don't know what I'm talking about. That Bob, that's like one of my running jokes, right? That's one of the things that I really enjoy. But that I've loved that.
technically, a lot of engineering degree is math. That's essentially your math major. That's primarily what it is. You get a few other things, but it's primarily math. A lot of engineers cannot do their trade. And that's where they, especially when they get out and they get a big head and I can do anything I want, and they just because
I know those type.
the math says you can does not make it reality. I met mechanical engineers that couldn't use a torque wrench, electrical engineers that couldn't use a multimeter. And to me, I've thing I got for telling an electrical engineer he was wasting my oxygen.
That I love that. That's the best line. Just so you know, that needs to be. I want that. I want Maker Haas, and whatever that line was, because I know you know the line. I want that on a t-shirt with the Maker Haas logo on the bottom. I want that so bad, Bob.
Wasting my oxygen.
Yeah. Go away. You're wasting.
I almost got fired for that comment because it was what I told him, and I honestly believed it. I had other people, technicians, could do more than what he could. That's the way I felt it. An electrical engineer that couldn't go read a multimeter and tell me what was the signal that it was getting was a waste of oxygen in that location. Because what good was it?
But no,
I
I
care
agree.
what the diagram said. I cared what the signal was.
I think
Yeah.
I think that's definitely an opinion with the manual guys over here, Viking. Is there's enough. We've all had enough negative experience with engineers to be like, but I honestly like from a background in industrial mechanics, which is like 5 trades, to go into anything else. Like I don't know what to do that will get me off the heavy work. I'm cool with a little bit of the light work, which is why I
Actually,
love being a content creator, right? And I would love to have a maker house where I can bring Bob in and he and I can work on something together. Like Bob, you know that our first project, whenever we get that space, you know what the first project is, right?
now you want a racing motor, which is
I know you think it's dumb, but I
I've
don't
done a
care.
few of those over the years, but
I know you think it's dumb too bad. We're doing it. We're doing it. No, we're doing it.
looking Viking, I actually think a good engineer is worth their weight in. But I think that the problem with a lot of engineers, and I've said this all my life, or my life since I became one and figured out what it really was. A lot of the problem is they don't make uh, them do the job. Uh,
Yeah.
You should start out as a technician and work that job for 6 months at least before you're an engineer.
So that's the 2 year program,
They,
right? That's what you guys are talking about. Because like when I'm looking at school, because I got a nice lady trying to help me find a new career path, right? You guys are talking about the 2 year program versus the 4 year program, correct? Or 4 or 5, I guess. I know. Listen. We're trying, Viking. We're trying. Bob has his space, but remember, there's whatever, right? So it is. Is that what you're saying? Yeah.
you know,
Okay.
when you have a still, yeah, you can actually be a technician with like a 2 year degree.
Okay.
Same thing. You you give up some statistics and advanced calculus, which oddly I've never actually used as an engineer.
Oh yeah, we love carpenters around here. Don't you get it twisted. We love all woodworkers around here.
Think
Remember.
how well the building is built if we thank the carpenter.
Yeah, see, I like getting my hands. I like tools. I like machines. I like being dirty. And like I said, Bob and I are just gonna go we're gonna figure it out. We're just gonna go buy some scrapped out lawnmowers and we're gonna build something dumb. And whether he likes it or not, I'm putting him to work on it. Because anything that he can't do, I'll be able to do, and vice versa. I'm sure the two of us can come up with something fun that'll do 30 miles an hour. And you guys say, well, we want to go
Basically,
faster.
a technician is the engineer that does the work. That's realistically the technician's the guy that we had technicians working with me. And why why I said he was wasting my oxygen. I could hand the
Aw.
multimeter to a technician to it.
Heart polymorph. Thanks for looking out for us, brother.
A lot of your engineers will go out and point and tell the technicians to actually do it.
Sure.
But the technicians do physical labor and heavy lifting.
I'm just limited
That sort
now.
of thing. So,
I'm like really limited because of the spinal injury. So I'm limited on how heavy. Like I can't
may
grunt
be
the old
better.
50 impacts, right?
Essentially, the engineer may be able to, and some engineers work. I work, depending on where you're working at, how much physical labor you do.
Yeah.
But the technicians may be essentially influenced to take some of the load. I hung out with the technicians and not the engineers.
But you get my meaning, right? It's like all of this stuff goes back to that core thing we were talking about earlier. I want to see reindustrialization in North America. I think there's a lot of brilliant minds out there. Thanks, Polymorph. And I seeing what you're doing with Maker Haas, seeing what that is, and seeing the creativity and seeing you work so hard, let me tell you, sir, it's quite inspiring. And again, I know it said it already, but it was wonderful to meet you at Midwest.
Happy to be there. I hopefully I'll someday make another one. My budget, and I always try to. I feel bad when I say, "Hey, my budget's tighter than this." This is going to be expensive.
I got no problem with electric. Like, there's a rumor going around that there's some teams that'll be start developing electric go-karts for Rocky Mountain. I don't know if you guys are aware of that or not, but there's actually several teams that are talking about doing EV go-karts for Rocky Mountain. And remember, I want to build the trike, the San Prentice trike, and Death Racers. I just don't know budget and all that constraints, but you know, I gotta get out of Vancouver. And yes, you Americans, I hear you. You're lovely
Constraints for one
people.
reason.
Say again, Bob.
I mean, technically, well, I do money constraints because I can't justify investing in a toy for myself when I got to get this other stuff open to achieve my goal.
But if I build one, you can always use it. I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
I know the batteries.
The,
Well, I thought I thought the controllers were not too bad, and I thought the charging system wasn't too bad. The batteries I heard were hard to get, but then you just have to run lead acids. But yeah, other than that, I
you can
thought
actually get gel cells and it'll be fine. The motor controllers aren't. You can actually get those. I think Central Pneumatics is even making a motor controller that's tolerable. But you will to get it right. You're looking at about $500 for the motor and controller. Roughly the last time I did one.
yeah.
Something of that nature.
Remember the trike. The estimated cost for the trike is $1,000 US for parts. Which again, if I can lead into another promo, can I promo something else, Bob? That's not me.
Sure.
So sponsorboard.io, which is Jonathan Levy's project, is trying to get content creators paid, right? So I'm gonna 3D print mine. I'm gonna try and print as much of it as I can.
Typically buy a Power Wheels and rip it apart for the components would be what I would do.
Don't get me started on Power Wheels, dude. Ever since I saw Hyperfest, I want a soapbox derby so bad it's eating me alive. There's nothing funnier than seeing grown men ride Power Wheels, Bob. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get the link. Can I share the link? Is that okay?
We can share that. I've actually thought about buying a Power Wheels, ripping it apart, and redoing it as a trike because that is a better use of or a cheaper way of doing it.
Yes, but remember my goal, because I am a content creator. This is my job. That's one. Okay, so Bob, I don't know if you can bring this up or not. You don't have to, but I'm going to drop these in. I just got two. So this is from Hyperfest. This is from one of my community members. And you guys, I'm sorry, seeing grown men use children's Power Wheels, and I bet you there's a better term than Power Wheels because Power Wheels is a brand. But seeing grown men use Power Wheels as soapbox derby cars has to be probably one of the funnest things I've seen in a long time. You have power racing at your makerspace? Where are my videos, Polymorph? Are you doing the batteries, the drill batteries for it? Oh, they call them ride-ons? Okay,
perfect. That they should be ripping. I think we need. I need to find one because I don't want to buy a brand new one. But realistically, you could rip a Power Wheels apart, rebuild it into a trike, and make it.
Oh yeah.
There's no reason it should be $1,000.
The reason why is it follows a very specific system. It uses stepper motors. And I may or may not have spoken to some people about getting bigger motors.
Are using stepper motors. We should get a larger stepper motor than what you typically see. Where should I have? Here.
Thank you. Appreciate that. No, it's just yeah. I know the ladies hate it when I call it's just the boys being boys, but that's what it is. It's just hey, I had this dumb idea. Let's do this dumb thing and have fun, right? Now, does that mean the girls can't play with us? Not at all. But I just know. Wow, this is cool. You even have combat robots. There's even grants available. Oh, this is brilliant.
So this is the largest stepper motor we have in stock.
So that's big. That's 3 times the size of the ones they're using on the trikes, Bob. That's what I want to use.
Nice.
I'm looking for the BOMs. Okay, hold on. Yeah, Bob, that's and then just put a fan and a cooler on it, like put an aluminum cut and then do it. That's yes, please. Do you want? Because that's a beast right there. The ones I've seen, they're probably yay big by yay big. They're not. They're not big.
I've got a few bigger, larger machines here that we've cobbled together. I think I overbuilt a few. But cobbled together will work. I'd like to see some Power Wheels turned into trucks. I think it'd be a good video series where people can afford it instead of spending, because you really don't need a stepper motor for the truck.
It's just the
You
way
need
it's been
forward and
beat.
rear. It's what they have. A few people, the guy that designed, he had access to stepper motor, so he built it with stepper.
Yeah, it's supposed to be leftover.
Unfortunately, I don't have access to resale, but technically, that's where I would be shopping for this.
Again, like my goal is just to, again, it's a content creation thing. It's just like doing Death Racers. There's lots of things I could do that do not comply with systems, but the idea is to make it part of the community items, right?
What I think the Power Wheel setup could be community items. That's something you can typically, somebody might be able to keep an eye out for and find it at a garage sale or, even a resale shop.
I can't seem to find the BOM. But... yeah, it's just an electric go-kart. Oh, found it. Never mind. So they're using the motors they're using are e-bike scooter motors. They're 1800 watt, 40 volt DC brushless. Are you guys doing this without a gearbox?
That's the other thing we can. Shouldn't need a gearbox if it's an e-bike. Oh.
No, because it's just run by a not a potentiometer, but a VFD, right? Oh, you guys like for real just make them out. It's a metal frame with a plastic car on top. Holy crap! You guys are nuts. I love this.
Plastic car won't support a person's weight.
Oh, it does.
No,
watch the videos I sent you.
Really?
Oh yeah. They soapbox them. Yeah, it's just a body kit. That's fine. Yeah, it's electric. It's electric go or sorry. Yeah, it's electric. Yeah, it's electric go kart with. Yeah, I gotta
take those out to the parking lot and race them, or what? Polymorph. I mean, the building looks like there's too much stuff in.
Dude, they straight up hold events. You can even book an event.
Into that. I want to do battle bots here because I've got the space, but I technically, I guess I have the space to build a track. I got storage chotes of water.
I love everything about this. See, I want to make a 3D printed
in the back building. Just put it.
Bob, there's again when you have time and when you have the community down, we'll come down. I'll do my best to come down and we'll do something, right? Oh, they do 3-phase. That's cool. Okay.
3-phase is great for something like that because you have a lot more torque.
No, sorry,
It'd be like a
3-phase
three-cylinder
racing.
engine versus a 2.
No, sorry, I was wrong. I meant so they do concrete, grass, and dirt like rally. So they do a mixed course. Sorry. And a 48 volt DC is not crazy. 1800 watts is not that crazy. That's wild.
2 batteries, essentially. Like 48 volts. It's a little bit. Not doable.
But a lot of this stuff, like Bob, because we look at it at very different angles. This is all for content creation. So building the trike is because most run of the two. Pardon me. Building the trike is a community-based item. Building a death racer is a community-based item. Because I make enough of my own stuff, right? So, and use
Means
throttle
they don't have to
controllers.
keep. Realistically, a 48 volt bike's probably, I guess, what are you doing? Buying a 48 volt bike, starting with all the guts out of it, and build a racer out of that.
That's
Even a
basically what they're
48 volt
doing.
bike for what? I say that'd be more money than what they're spending on the trikes.
Yeah.
It's really going to be at least $1,000.
Yeah.
That's what it is. That's what I was thinking of for the trike, was a $50 power loop. Really good enough of a controller for that.
That's what I was thinking, is building a frame inside it. Printing a frame out of some like material and assemble it. Like resin it together and maybe bolt it together. Yeah, 500 US, so double that. So it's about the same. So people aren't buying all new stuff. Yeah. Brilliant.
It's not pay to play. Essentially, the guy with the most money wins.
I think it's the guy with the most
I
friends
can see
wins.
races like that being there. Well, that's when you vote for the best or dumbest design, whatever. Right. Guy with most, that's kind of like our print contest for the guy with the most friends.
Yeah.
It's kind of how those go. But contest where you vote with those friends. But if you got a race where whoever spends the most money wins, it's kind of a dumb race.
Yeah.
I mean, you're always going to have some advantages, Polymorph. I mean, but you are in a makerspace, so they've eliminated a lot of it. Yeah. Sandy's going to sleep. Huh? Well, you're going upstairs.
All right, so that's that. We're
The air
calling the night then?
She's going up to the AC. But I mean, you got a makerspace, so you're offsetting some of the guy with the most tools. Does that look like a pretty decent makerspace? Okay. There's only so much you can do with tools. I can't believe they said that.
Yeah, I agree.
It's not like an oscilloscope's going to help you on that. It's looking at some basic stuff. Yeah, I guess you have a lathe. You have a lathe at that shop? Metal lathe? Making gears or stuff, but again, that's not the end of the world. Oh yeah, you had a something similar to what I've got. Never mind. So you got most of that's at the shop. Experience is, again, you're always going to have experience. You're always going to have a guy who's more skilled at something. That's kind of it. When I was watching Makerspace, I don't know if you saw where he was streaming the other day, Maker.
No.
He was streaming they're having it looked like Boy Scouts race, Pinewood derbies that allowed people to cheat. So everybody was able to do different things with those Pinewood Derby cars, like adding air canisters to it, or fans, or they would essentially kicked out of the Pinewood Derby for rightful reasons.
Like I told you before, I think that's interesting. I'm not a big fan of rules. The more rules something is, the less creativity, the less fun can be had. Right. The new shop.
I'm actually
I agree.
It was a free for all.
Yeah. But the new song you have for the shop, it's like I said to people before, it's like there are mitigated levels of danger that you're still gonna do the thing.
I'm playing on the intro to this.
Yeah.
It's that's going to be my shop theme song.
Yeah.
That's to fit on the track. Yeah, I mean, basically, though, you weren't trying to teach. I guess you were probably working with kids, but it was a creativity race. It wasn't like you were teaching kids craftsmanship. I fully loved it. I thought it was a genius idea. It can't be dangerous and it can't harm somebody, and you can't hurt anybody else delivering. They were hitting the other racers because they were falling off the track. So they were breaking the rules. But yeah, it was ambulance science. Sorry. Oh, come on, Dart. I've never had an ambulance here. Knock on some wood. And here, for those that don't know, let me see if I can get it to play. Actually, I can if I go into the shop start. So let me play it, I guess, in case you want to hear it. I think it's playing.
I don't hear nothing.
Different
Oh, there it
tide and clear the floor for put your glasses on before you strike that arc. Shut the apron tight and clear the floor for sparks. Grind dust stings lungs like sand in the back of your throat. One glove can snag a blade, so keep both hands close. If it kicks, step back. If it binds, let it stop. Check the clamp again and keep your knuckles off the top. Time to do some sketchy shit. Not today, not with this bit. Guard on, pride down, keep it fit. Time to do some sketchy shit. Keep it safe. In place when you feed that board. Push with a scrap block. Let the blade eat wood, not more. Long sleeves rolled up clean. No loose strings near the drill. Catch the grain the right way, or it'll twist with will. If it sprinters, slow. If it chatters, kill the feed. Stand to the side for the kick she said, not today, not with this bed. Got on, pat down, keep it fed. Time to do some sketchy shit. Gloves off when they trap. Tie it up, then take it slow. Time to do some sketchy shit and make it home to go again. Keep it safe. Keep it safe. Keep it safe.
Happy with the audio on that Dart.
That's a
Or I was screwing
banger.
around without an AI for better now.
That's a banger, Bob. Like I said to you
Oh.
earlier, I really like that.
That I'm happy with it. But it's AI, so you really can't copyright or anything like that, I guess. But yeah, screwing around like an hour trying to get the lyrics right because you know how AI will write something that's stupid and you have to go back and rewrite the lyrics. But I was trying to keep bad advice, but make it funny.
That's a banger, and it's
Crap I've
fun.
heard.
I've never written a song for myself because I can't do it. It's too weird for me. So everything, all the art,
Weird.
everything I do is always contributed because it's so weird to do it. I just can't. It's like self promotion is super hard for me, and I have to do it, but it's so weird.
I think it was better because it started out as something I was writing as a joke to shenanigans. And then as I got into it, it's like, you know, this would be a nice little theme song. So let's change the lyrics to this.
Thirst trap makes you feel thirsty.
So,
You have a serious issue. You're probably dehydrated. Surprise! It's a hydration check. When was the last time you drank some water? That vodka does not count, sweetie.
That vodka 100% counts.
toast to, I don't have a tribe, but we'll call it Heathen's Tribe.
All no.
Yeah, and everybody watching.
It is the tribe. We are all the tribe. Everyone is tribe. It's yours as much as it is mine. So start again.
To the tribe, to everybody watching, bottoms up.
Squall!
And get ready for sketchy shit, I guess, right?
Facts. Yeah, I need that, Vince. When you're done that, send it to me.
Having time to do sketchy shit on my merch soon. That way I can put that out because I was very happy with the song.
Yep, very good. Make sure you
It
do a
was
video and put it
easier
on YouTube.
starting it out for somebody else. I'll click on that after the stream. Again, I think it's a catchy tune. That's going to be the intro for the shop stuff. The problem when I did it, I had to redo it a bunch of times, the lyrics, because of the fact it started giving bad advice. And while I like that theme, I don't want to hurt anybody. And we didn't want a song where it was playing bad advice, somebody could pick it up and follow it, you know? Gloves is bad enough. I couldn't get that out. And while I agree with some of it, I don't like gloves and machinery. Yeah, I'm sure Maker understands why. Even though some machines, they kind of want you to wear gloves.
I must be a good millwright. I got all 10.
I do as well, but yeah, I get that gloves and me because they will suck your hands in it. But it does tell you to keep the gloves out. I got that in there. But AI wanted to keep the gloves on the machinery. I'm not sure why. Yeah, I've worked in factories though that wanted you to wear gloves while working from belts. Again, I don't get it. But I posted for. I guess I did post the file in Maker's Stream. So if you want to steal it, grab it there.
All right, Bob.
You can use it. Just give me enough credits where people still mind.
First of all, you need to put up take your logo, put up a music video, and just put that on it. So that way, it has a home. And two, it's been a long day for me. I'm almost 7 hours right now. So I'm gonna go. Thank you for having me. I'm just burnt.
Okay.
I also did like 4 hours this morning at like 2 a.m. So, but again, awesome. Thank you for having me for my opinions on 3D printings and the rules for 3D printing. Thank you for playing along with my love for industrial mechanics and the reindustrialization of North America. Thank you to the tribe for sharing all of your weird stories and funness. And shout out to Polymorph for showing us some really cool stuff. I'm gonna go. I'll be here turkey lurking in the channel, but I am cooked like dinner, my friend.
Understand.
Okay.
Probably not gonna be up till midnight again tonight, but like I was last week. But have a good night.
All right. Good night, sir.
We'll be making that downloadable. Making UFOs at 2 a.m. Wasn't that might have been him, not. No, I won't read. Why is it not? Sure. Oh, he was designing a UFO. I get that. Most of the time when I'm up at 2 a.m., I'm crying. 2 a.m. is the perfect time to use an angle grinder. It's cool outside. There's a wonderful experience when it's nice and cool and nobody's bothering you to grind or weld. Normally, I try to stay till 4 a.m. when I'm sleeping. Here lately, I've been actually sleeping all the way until sometimes up to 7 o'clock. Anybody else would like to join? I can actually. I am a morning person, probably more than a night person as far as getting work done, but that's because in my shop, if I had the door open at night, especially, people would stop in. So I started getting up early, and it's a lot cooler early in the morning than late at night. Anybody would like to join? Stop in. That should be YouTube and Twitch. Again, you can join audio. I just have to know who you are. I get that 3D Medic events. I have been offering without a camera as long as I know people, but I fully understand that. I've got one of the computers that doesn't have a mic or a camera. I also get that. I wish I would have taken outside to pull out and discuss some of the retrofits. We'll try to have some of that up. It's cold enough outside. Past bedtime for me, so I won't be staying on too much later unless somebody joins. As far as the stream, you're welcome to if you dig them out. 3D Medic vents again. As long as I know somebody that can, I'm probably more sensitive on the people with mics. To be perfectly honest, because that is a little bit more, in my opinion, the risk of not knowing who they are, feeling them out. As far as a troll, but obviously I know who you are. I've even met you in person. You're a nice guy. I met you up at Murph. So that would you'd be welcome on there without a mic or without a camera. So we have been placing the machinery for the metalworking shop out in the back. I did that because I need to do some of the. Yeah, but I'm a troll, Dart. There's a limit on if you would screw up, like do something that's against TOS or Twitch type deal, Dart. That's the kind of my limit. Well, I got two limits. One, don't be a weak-minded troll and insult people for like sexuality, gender, well, that sort of thing. Same thing as what most people get offended by. Don't do the low-hanging fruit, race, any of that stuff. Number two, I don't like people insulting my wife. It bothers me. It's primarily. Nothing gets personal. You can tease somebody, but nothing personal. None of the weak-minded crap, which you've never done. Teasing people, that's perfectly fine. But the electronics bench has been done for a while, or at least mostly done. I could always reorganize it. We have pretty much everything you need to do anything from cell phone repair to computer repair. We can even do some component level. I've been thinking about getting a microscope though, and adding that phone camera, which is a neat little thing toy. Stark, how's your CyberSync thing going? I haven't seen anything on that in a couple weeks, or have I just even noticed? It's been working and you said something about it. The flag one, let's see. The flag one has covers it enough like bugs can't get into it, but it's not perfect. The V ones, in fact, let's see here, I can show it. Flag right. Yeah, I need to start looking for them. I don't have a microscope yet. The B ones do a lot better job. Covering the lid. If you want one of the B ones, I'll send it to you. By the way, polymorph. Just message me. We'll send you a link to those, actually. Both of those. are basically that. So yeah, we're working on a few other ones. Yeah, it's on things, but it's in the member section. I didn't know if you were on that or not. I would have sent it to you either way on that one. But it is on the things memberships. This is not the final one, but it's close enough. Also, the B ones you can't put keychains in as well through the loops. We just didn't do it. Send me what you've got, Dark, and I'll take a look at it. Another one to send it to is on anything electrical is Blind Via. I was actually going to send him a circuit board because to have a secondary look on it when I'm on a project I'm working on. We have been working on larger projects that are taking a while. Part of mine, I'm waiting on things from Shenanigans because my project is different than his, but it will involve his silicone printer. It's going to be essentially be a fork of his. So he's going to be. I'm waiting on some of his stuff to be done to make sure it fall in well. He is aware that I'm doing that. It's yes. I'm still also going to be giving ideas for his and back and forth. Like instead of me reinventing the wheel because I wanted the silicone printer as well, I'm going to be testing his and integrating what he's doing into mine. But adding a few features that he doesn't necessarily want. Those that are not following, please do follow Shenanigans. He is developing a silicone 3D printer. And we will be doing videos on that on this channel as well once we figure out the design, build instructions, everything like that. And probably a fork of the design with changes that I want that have nothing to do with his, unless he wants to add, must be added in and make it an official part of it. Again, that's up to him on that particular idea, but it won't be the same printer that he's working on. And it won't be necessary to everybody. He's working on that. I will be printing parts and trying to test that very soon. As soon as it starts to get released. I don't know if I'm going to get it previously or not. I assume I will be among the first to see it when it's released. But yeah, I'm another one. Let's see if I got a link. I don't have Blind Via. Those that aren't following him, he's an X. He's good at circuitry. If you're not following him, do try to follow Blind Via. He does circuit board design, electronics design. He's a very intelligent man. Has been doing a series on AI circuit board design, which is interesting and scary at the same time. He knows all the problems and is pointing them out, but he's also hearing out the AI companies that are just telling people they can design circuits. So he's doing a very interesting series as he can do it. If you are interested in AI and electronics and the combination of the two, do follow him. He has access to stuff that to be perfectly honest. I'm sure that I trust AI to design circuit boards that are going to be released. And I see that stuff coming faster than what I feel comfortable with. So, but he is, yeah, he is interviewing the companies and he's looking into it. I don't think he's a proponent of it necessarily, or against. He's just looking at what's coming out. He also does do circuit board design on his channel. Great resource to have. And if it's a seriously advanced circuit, he might be wanting to have a look at it. From what I've seen of what you got, I could look at it and tell you realistically. He does more component level construction than I do anymore. Huh. Okay. Technically, it is later than what I probably to go say Ray to Peslas if she's still on. I've never had a chance to rate her. I'm gonna stop in and say hi. I know you pretty much everybody in my stream is, but I've never actually had a chance to rate her. So stop in and say hi, and thank you guys for joining in.